What's going on, everybody? I realized that I have not done a Midas DAO update for a little while since that last extreme dip that they had. So this is what that's going to be. This is going to be the update video. And since then, since that I want to say a week ago, it has moved a lot. It's been doing some really good things, and there has been numerous announcements. But before we get into all that stuff, I want to let you guys know, again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am just documenting my road to financial freedom and the bumps and bruises along the way. Please do your own research. Make your own decisions. All right, so okay, so we have announcements to get into, and also I'm going to go ahead and do the roadmap in this video as well. Just to show you guys what's in store for Midas. Now let's get into my position on Midas first. And here's my position. Now last week I did sell my entire position. Like I want to say 57 crown at one point, and I sold to see if the sidestep method actually does work or would the taxes hinder that. And it was like the assumption was right. The taxes do hinder sidestepping, like by a lot. For sidestepping to work now with the taxes implemented, let's ignore this part. I think when I sidestepped, I want to say it was like right here. No, it wasn't 34. It was, I think it was 20. I think I sidestepped at like 15 or something like that. 15 or 16. Yeah, here it is. This is where I wanted to do a sidestep, around this area. And by the time I got out, I think I had hit like the 16 or 18 mark. And to sidestep, to get back in, which sidestepping is like getting out of the position, selling it all, going into a stable coin like Magic Internet Money, and then when the price drops really low, get back into the project to have a lot more crown that you did before. Now the taxes, because the price is below $40, it took like 20% or 25% of like my entire pot. And 25% of like $1,500 is like what, $200, $300 or something like that, probably even more. I lost about 6 or 7 crown in the process, bumping me down from 57 crown to about 48, I think 48 or 47. So getting back in here, I would have had to wait for this thing to drop to a little bit below 13. And it hit like 14, 35. Like for me to gain 10 crown back, I would have to hit like at least at the very bottom, but there's no way to predict what the very bottom is gonna be and even catch it at that point. So I just went ahead and said, forget it. And I got back in using the minting process, because I wouldn't have sold if I didn't see a mint discount at the $15 mark. That's the only reason I did it. So I was like, okay, at least if this doesn't work, I can jump back in at minting at 15 and not really have too much of a loss. So that's what I did. I got back into minting at $15 and then just kept it there and recompounded or reinvested my minted bonuses into the crown and then started staking it. So right now I have 51.49, and I was because of that sale, I was getting like every rebase, it was probably like 0.4 or close to 0.5. So that means I was getting like 1.5 to 2 crown per day. So I set myself back about a week's worth of rebases for that sale. But again, it was a learning experience for me. I'm glad I did it because I want to know exactly how this thing works in the first place. So now that I've done that, currently I've been looking at Midas, and it's been on a climb, like hardcore climb. And I'm like, what is going on here? It's just nothing but greens all the way up to the top, and then there's some profit taking again because of this giant cascade here, and just like accumulating more and more crown until someone has to take profits. This is essentially the buyback program that they started, that I was talking about in the last video. I was like, when are they going to do the buyback program? They did a burn essentially before, but I was like, yeah, but what about the buybacks? So they actually did implement that. I want to say on the 28th, I think, either 27th or 28th. So they actually did hit the roadmap, and they did hit their goal in the month of January, like they said that they would. So that's cool. So let me go ahead and pull up the announcements. There's about 11 announcements. We'll skip a few of them, but I do want to go over those because they are very important, and then we can go into the roadmap, getting a bigger picture of the future of Midas. After a long battle, CMC finally added V2 Crown to their website, and this was why they were waiting to do the buybacks, because they figured, why do buybacks if it's not going to reflect on the graphs of coin market cap, which everyone follows and looks at for information. So they did that. So now we are on the 28th. Pin says, yo, want to give an update on some stuff as we gear up for the Unleash DeFiX onto the world. There's going to be some changes on how we operate as a team, namely myself, PSW Oligate, I don't know how you say that, and Crypto Oryx will be in charge of the treasury management and daily buybacks plus burns starting soon. So they will have daily buybacks. So we can expect that the price won't just plummet like it has done in the past, because they will be using the tax from those sales to buy back to fight that inflation. We have a proven track record of multiple 1000x's, and due to our insider connections, get tons of alpha. It's time to really assert our treasury, as it's the main focal point of Midas DAO, and with throne nodes around the corner, now is the time to start hitting the iron. What you can expect: daily buybacks from treasury investments varying in size, then burns. A portion will go to the long-term treasury growth, high-level alpha plays aping into clear wins for strong growth, transparent on-chain data of when and how much each time, high-level partnerships like refi. I will assist us with strategies, and then the sale tax will take care of those who swing trade, basically like what I tried to do. And the beauty of our model is everything is focused on building our treasury up. And for our flagship project that involves Fintech, I think that's supposed to say Fintech. Yeah, Fintech. We need one of the biggest treasuries ever. And I'm confident we'll get there with the talent that we have. Okay, yo, this is on the 29th. As first contact as CFO, I've completed the first of our daily buybacks and burns. Some days won't always be as large, some days will be much larger as we grow the treasury. I want to get to the point where we are doing multi-million-dollar buybacks daily and still growing the treasury. Also, as CFO, I have completed KYC steps with Assure. Expect a tweet and post from them soon. Thanks to El Chapo for making it easy too. KYC is know your company. It's supposed to be know your customer, but in terms of DeFi, it's know your company. I am committed to bringing Midas DAO to a multi-billion DeFi changing project. I believe our model of DeFiX will bring about some incredible changes into the future. As we continue to finish the throne nodes and do the beginning legwork of the flagship project, you can take me, KY Singh, as our CFO as a symbol of our dedication and conviction. Like it or not, people want to know who's in charge of the treasury. And Assures gives us the option to affirm that we are a legitimate project without having to publicly dox myself. As the main one handling our treasury funds and making investments decision alongside PSWO or PSWO and Oryx, this is a huge step of our protocol. Not only does it set aside the solid structure, but it lets Golden Boy and Jen focus on what they do best, and that is build our future and build DeFiX. All right, Midas DAO Treasury had a 6-figure buyback and burn today. That was yesterday, actually. What was yesterday? That was on the 30th. Okay, so they actually did a big burn back at the end of the month as well. So with this, Midas DAO Treasury has just completed our daily buyback and burn. Let's see, 3,070 crown worth, which is 104,000 USDC, has been bought back and burned. Between FF and Jones, It has been a strong day for Treasury investments. Our buyback size reflects that. So today, this is on the 31st. As we near completion of nodes coming this week, I got a pretty cool infographic made up of the general DeFiX framework. We will have another infographic coming, going specifically over Throne nodes, but in the interim, we want to explain the DeFiX model. Feel free to use this. Let's share this around like crazy, get the word out. So we're going to be caught up to date with this infographic. So let's check that out. The Power of DeFiX Fintech framework for superior DAO. So let's start where we are currently. We are in Crown as the native token. Buy, sell, bond fees goes to the Treasury. Staked Crown. Staked Crown, and then the amount increases with each rebase. Throne, wrapped S Crown. So Staked Crown, and then when you wrap it, you get Throne. Amount is constant, but value increases with rebase. Used to buy nodes, which increase your APR. Principal from node purchase is added to liquidity pool and burned. Okay, so the principal from the node purchase. Ooh, okay. This is where my question, I'm going to have a question. So, in most of these node protocols, when you invest your money, that money's gone. You cannot get that money back. The only money that you're going to be getting is what comes out of the node itself in the form of like an increased percentage of probably staked crown or regular crown. And that's very similar to how Thor works, like the Thor nodes, where you buy nodes. Let's say for Thor, you buy like $1,000 worth to get one node. Well, that $1,000 is gone. Now that node is going to start paying you out, maybe $50 a day until you reach, the amount that you had to when you bought it. So that way you can buy another one if you want to, and then just increase that way. So the principal from node purchases is added to the liquidity pool and burned. So if the principal is added, and the principal is what you get from the staked crown added to Throne, if that's burned, then that means you will be burning your money, just like drip or any of those other functions work, to start getting nodes and start having those pay out. I mean, I'm cool with that. That's just like I hate the idea of like just burning the money and then like there's no way I can take that out. But maybe that's not how it works. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But if they do another AMA, I will ask that question. So all this crown will go into the Midas DAO Treasury. Gains used for daily crown buybacks and burns of varying amounts. So that's how that works. And then the CFO and Treasury managers. CFO is KYC verified. That's a PIN. Revenues actively invested by skilled, successful investors with elite access to esteemed developers. So that's like their insider stuff and insider information where they can start investing in other projects to where they would actually make a profit to put that back into the treasury. Transparent transactions shared with our holders. Transparent transactions in the form of, if you go to Discord and look at their investment page, you can see all the investments that they're doing there, and sometimes in real time. Diversified across projects on various networks and levels of risk. All profits return to the Midas DAO Treasury. So basically profits from this, from the staking and buying and selling of Crown, and the bonding, like the minting process, all that goes into the Treasury. And then also from the Treasury comes out in the form of more Crown for staked and for Throne users. To get more money, they're also investing their treasury into other assets across chains and networks to gain more profit, and then that's being put back into the treasury as well. So it's kind of like a never-ending loop. But from what I can see here is the one downside to this is the money that comes from here is the minting and bonding process. If there's not enough incentive to mint and bond, then there won't be that much money coming back into the treasury on this side. I would suspect most money or most profit will be coming from these investments here back into the treasury to be able to pay out rewards for crown and throne holders. But again, we'll just have to see how that works. This is a really cool picture, so I'm glad that we have that to go over. But now let's get into the roadmap real quick, and I'll try to make that part a little bit shorter.